Sometimes, everything looks normal from the outside. You wake up, go through your routine, talk to people, maybe even smile a little. Nothing dramatic happens. No big problem, no clear reason to feel off. But somewhere quietly, inside you, something feels heavy. Not heavy enough to stop you from functioning. Not strong enough to make you cry. Just there, a strange, unexplainable weight. You try to ignore it at first. You scroll your phone, distract yourself, keep moving. But it doesn't fully go away. It lingers in the background, like a low noise you can't switch off. And then that question starts repeating in your mind. Why do I feel like this? You look around your life for answers. Nothing seems wrong. No obvious reason. So you turn the question inward. Is something wrong with me? That's the part that makes it worse. Because when you can't find a reason for your sadness, your brain starts assuming the problem is you. But what if that's not true? What if this feeling isn't random at all? What if it's something real, just not obvious? Because not every emotion comes with a clear cause. Not every feeling announces itself loudly. Some feelings are quiet, subtle, hard to name. And just because you can't explain them doesn't mean they don't have a reason. Your brain is always working, even when you're not aware of it. Every day, you experience hundreds of small moments. Most of them seem insignificant, so you don't think about them twice. A slightly awkward conversation, a moment where you felt ignored, something someone said that didn't sit right with you. You notice it for a second, and then you move on. At least you think you do, but your mind doesn't. It stores everything, not just the big obvious events, but the small unfinished ones too. The things you didn't fully process, the feelings you didn't fully feel. They don't disappear. They just get pushed into the background. And over time, they start to build up, quietly, without you realizing it. It's like opening too many tabs in your mind and never closing them. Individually, they don't seem like much, but together, they create pressure, mental noise, emotional weight. And because you never stop to deal with them, your brain holds on to them, waiting, trying to make sense of everything you ignored. So when you suddenly feel sad for no reason, it's not that there's no reason. It's that the reason is made up of many small things you never noticed adding up. Sometimes what you call sadness isn't really sadness. It's something deeper, something more specific. But because you don't have the right word for it, your brain labels it as one simple emotion, sad. For example, you might feel a quiet kind of loneliness, not the obvious kind where you're completely alone, but the kind where you're surrounded by people and still feel slightly out of place. Or maybe it's a strange nostalgia, missing something, but not knowing exactly what. A time, a version of yourself, a feeling that you can't go back to. Sometimes it's emotional overload. Too many thoughts, too many feelings, all happening at once, but none of them strong enough individually to stand out clearly. So they blend together, and your brain simplifies everything into one thing: sadness. Because it's easier. Your mind isn't trying to confuse you, it's actually trying to help. It takes complex emotions and compresses them into something you can recognize. But in doing that, it hides the real details, the real meaning. That's why it feels so confusing, because what you're feeling isn't just one emotion. It's a mix of things you haven't fully understood yet. Your brain has one main goal: to understand what's happening inside you. Every feeling you experience is a signal, a way for your mind to communicate something. But here's the problem. Your brain doesn't always have clear answers. Sometimes it can't find a specific reason for what you're feeling. And when that happens, it does something interesting. Instead of giving you clarity, it gives you a general emotion, something broad, something noticeable, like sadness. Not because you're truly sad in the traditional sense, but because your brain needs your attention. It's like a notification you can't ignore. A signal that says, hey, there's something here. Something unfinished. Something unresolved. Something you haven't fully faced. But instead of explaining it directly, your mind gives you a feeling. Because feelings are harder to ignore than thoughts. And that's why it can feel so frustrating. You want a clear answer, a specific reason. But your brain doesn't give you one. It just gives you the feeling. and waits for you to figure it out. Have you noticed something? These feelings don't show up when you're busy. They don't hit when your mind is distracted or when you're focused on something important. They show up in quiet moments, late at night, when you're lying in bed, when you're doing nothing, or when everything suddenly slows down. And that's not random. It's actually very intentional. Because when you're busy, your brain doesn't have space to process emotions. It's focused on tasks, conversations, movement. But when things go quiet, all that background noise you ignored earlier starts coming forward. All the thoughts you pushed away start resurfacing. And suddenly, you feel it. That unexplained sadness. Not because it appeared out of nowhere, but because this is the first moment your mind finally had the space to feel it fully. That's why it feels sudden. But it's not. It was always there, waiting. So maybe you're not actually sad for no reason. Maybe you're feeling things you just don't understand yet. Things that don't have simple names. Things that don't come with clear explanations. Small emotions, unfinished thoughts, hidden memories, all mixing together until they become something you can feel, something real. And instead of trying to push it away immediately, maybe the better question is, what is this trying to tell me? Not every feeling needs to be fixed right away. Some feelings just need to be understood, even if it takes time, even if it's uncomfortable. Because the moment you stop running from it and actually sit with it, it starts to make sense, little by little. And next time you feel that same sadness, instead of thinking, there's no reason for this, you might realize there always was. You just didn't have the words for it yet. You weren't sad for no reason. You just didn't understand it yet. Subscribe for more.